Welcome to the Great Southwest, Tucson, Arizona, to be exact, the site of round 2 action here in the West Regional. Number 9 seed UCLA takes on the top-seeded Michigan Wolverines. The winner gets a trip to Seattle in the West Regional next weekend in the Sweet 16. They'll join George Washington, which advanced with a victory over Southern today. Tucson, I'm Greg Gumbel. It has been an upset-laden tournament. The UCLA Bruins would like to add their little bit by knocking off the Michigan Wolverines here today. We talked with head coach Jim Herrick of the UCLA Bruins. He's facing the mighty Wolverines, who are 27-4. Jim, what do you do today to knock off Michigan?
Stop the inside game, rebound, and get our transition game going. So you might see an up-and-down game.
Working alongside me is Digger Phelps. Digger, can you run with Michigan?
I don't know if you could take that 9 deep. This is the dream team of college basketball, and I don't know if you could play that way for 40 minutes. What I like is when they get Ed O'Bannon inside post area, outside to where he can shoot the jump shots. When you're patient and disciplined, that's how IU and Duke beat Michigan this year. I like it when you get Ed O'Bannon where he can shoot at his rhythm, and he's got to step up and have a double-double like he did, 10 points, 10 rebounds the other night against Iowa State.
I'll tell you who had a big game against Iowa State was big Richard Petruska in the middle, but he'll have his hands full today with the trees that Michigan presents.
I don't know if he can handle that pounding for 40 minutes of what Howard, Weber, and bring Riley off the bench, and I just don't see that consistency where they can rebound and play that physical inside game for 40 minutes. That has got to be where the bench, the depth, the power of Michigan gets it done.
Michigan 27-4, UCLA 22-10. Starting lineups in the opening cap when we come back to Tucson in just a moment. In the middle, Edney and Tarver are the guards. For Michigan, Chris Weber and Ray Jackson. Howard, King, and Rose fill out Steve Fisher's lineup.
Look for Michigan to do a strong rebounding job early in this game and get that long outlet pass. That's something that's going to be a problem, I think, for UCLA. If they go transition, if Edney tries to drive it, they've got no one back in that transition.
John Morrow, Andre Patello, and Don Rutledge are the officials for today's game as Petruska and Weber get set to toss it. Michigan has never beaten UCLA. UCLA 6-0 in its history, and the Bruins get the opening tap. Tyus Edney. And a big rebound by Butler. Back outside, Tarver. Inside. And Howard had it and lost it. And going up, O'Bannon was fouled.
Very aggressive on the boards. Very surprising to see Butler inside as well as O'Bannon banging on those boards early. O'Bannon had 10 rebounds in the first half the other night, plus 10 points, so he's stepping up right away for UCLA.
Had 20 points and 13 overall with 3 blocked shots against Iowa State. The Bruins come in at 22-10, finish tied for third with Arizona State in the Pac-10 with an 11-7 mark and a 29th appearance. Jim Herrick in his 5th year at UCLA. O'Bannon gets 1 out of 2 when UCLA is on the board. Edney went for the steal.
UCLA playing the zone, 2-3 zone, worried about the inside game as well as rebounding.
Petruska stepping up in front of Weber and knocking it out of bounds. We mentioned how big Petruska played. He dominated the inside in the game 2 nights ago against Iowa State.
Jim Herrick's strategy is force Michigan to beat me outside. Let me control the defensive rebounds.
Ray Jackson up top to Jalen Rose. Thrown away. Butler on the run and scores.
He has come to play. The other night against Iowa State, UCLA came out the first 5 minutes and they just blitzed Iowa State. And I think the same much intensity is here today.
3-0 Bruins. King on the baseline. Too long. Jackson.
That's where they get to, because Jackson as a guard, small forward, can still get in and get offensive rebounds. spot for UCLA in that zone because there's no blockout.
Ray Jackson had a career-high 19 points against Coastal Carolina in their opening tournament game on Friday. O'Bannon for three.
I love him outside. He stays out there now, that post. He's going to be the step-up player today for the big game that UCLA needs out of him.
O'Bannon, 4 of the 6 points UCLA has on the board.
Hello. Petruska doesn't know what that is yet. He hasn't seen anything like the physical play once Michigan gets it going inside. It's a long night for Petruska.
6'4", Bruins, Edney penetrates it and kicks out. Tarver inside, got it.
Sean Carter with the left hand goes in. Reads where he had that gap. Great move to the basket.
UCLA by 4. Jalen Rose for 3.
Yes. Sooner or later, Michigan will hit that perimeter shot with King, Jackson, and Rose, and that's going to open up the inside game.
Butler with the reverse. Oh, what a drive by Mitchell Butler.
This is the same intensity we saw against Ohio State, but the question is, will the bench become a factor because UCLA can't play this way for 40 minutes with the 5 they have on the floor.
King for 3.
Now, if UCLA goes man-to-man, the question is, who does MD guard because he's so small?
Inside at 10. Tyus Edney checks in at 5'10".
And Jimmy King is guarding him to force him to shoot outside.
O'Bannon got it, and he'll go to the line.
He's come back from that knee injury. I'll tell you what, the way he played the other night, his confidence was going, and now when you see him out in the perimeter where he belongs, he has total confidence. Makes a good ball move, dribbles to the top, and makes that jump shot. Great screen. And that's where he's at his best, shooting perimeter jumpers.
Foul is on Ray Jackson. 3-point play, 7 points for O'Bannon.
Little pressure here.
UCLA lead.
Contained press so that Michigan can't run a quick fast break.
Howard bumped by Petruska on his way to the hoop.
Can't afford that. The big men on UCLA's bench really don't have that experience as well as, I think, the ability to play if Petruska gets in foul trouble. And what that forces is Zimmer to come in. Zimmerman is not really the big aggressive player that you need.
Jalen Rose trying to dish, and instead it's out of bounds to UCLA. The Wolverines, 27-4, 15-3 record in the Big Ten, second only to Indiana. And head coach Steve Fisher with a 13-2 record in NCAA tournament play.
Good retired when he went 6-0 winning a national championship.
O'Bannon for 3. Oh, does he feel it today?
You got to switch on that. They're not picking up on that yet, Michigan. He's the step-up player, and that's what we talked about. He's the one guy that can step up and neutralize as well as Sean Carter scoring the points today for UCLA.
He has 10 of the Bruins' 16 points. Petruska and Weber waging war underneath.
Still in the zone. They're going to live and die with outside shooting by Michigan.
Rose for 3. Weber. Weber again.
Yes. See, what happens now when that shot? There's no one blocking out Weber because you're in the zone. And what that allows Weber to do is find that offensive rebound and just stay with it. Petruska can't handle him all day.
UCLA 16-12, and down goes Mitch Butler and comes up limping.
Interesting matchup. Javon Howard playing O'Bannon.
Petruska, turnaround, short. Weber has it.
There you go. Look out.
Jackson, foul, and will go to the line.
See, this is where they get you sooner or later. They are so good at exploding out in that fast break. They'll either dribble it out, get the long outlet pass, but when it goes inside the Rose, and they go from that angle, watch Weber right now. Finds Rose. Rose, no dribble. Just 2 passes. Now he goes up strong, knowing that if he continues to the basket, he gets the 3-point play. Jackson had a great game the other night.
We have a 1-point game, 14:58 to play, and we're coming back to Tucson.
Now McDonald's always has one extra value meal.
Sponsored by Prudential Securities. The most important thing we earn is your trust.
And welcome. This is Prudential Securities at the half. Jim Nance along with Mike Francesa and Bill Raftery. 2 halftimes in right now, but the story is UCLA. How about it, Raf?
How about Michigan? 3 years ago, their Waterloo in 1990 against Loyola Marymount in the second round. Just outstanding defense by UCLA. Great team speed as well, something we've seen.
And Michigan not playing great defense. UCLA pushing the ball, beating them up the floor. Banyan having a good game. Tava having a good game. Right now, UCLA, that speed being a big factor.
Attitude game. This is an attitude.
We'll find out in the second half. Let's show some highlights from the first half. That 13-point Bruin lead. The comeback kids, that's what they say at UCLA. Never say die. Now it'll be Michigan's turn to try to make a comeback. Here's a break, Mike.
Eddie O'Banion for the layup right there. He had a very big first half, 17 points.
Look at Sean Tarver now.
Outstanding. Great speed. Talking of team speed, is one of the better clubs in the country.
And this play really typified that stretch in the first half, Raf.
Read, anticipate, and finish.
Put it away. So a 13-point lead for UCLA at halftime. Now the other game that's at the half, Utah and Kentucky. It's been Kentucky from the start. Usually outside, Mike, but inside they go to Rodney Dent.
Dent inside. Mashburn's been a force, 16 points. It's really been their defense that has been a big factor. They've held Utah to under 33% in the first half.
So it's 39-20 there in Nashville. Now the 6 finals from today. Wake Forest over Iowa. A close game throughout. The Demon Deacons, well, they started to surf through the last 2 minutes, I guess you could say. Raph, look at some of the action here with A.C. Earl.
Not bad early on. Very important player for them, but this is just a good, strong inside play. Rodney Rogers.
Really went back and forth, Mike. Here's Randolph Childress.
Rogers had 33, Childress 23. Those were the 2 big guns today.
Childress setting them up 33 and 10. Like I said, the bracket now in Charlotte for Thursday and Saturday. 2 ACC teams on hand there, Mike.
4 in the tournament in total, Jimmy, but they can't only get 2 to the Final Four because 2 of them are each in each region.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
Okay, now about an hour ago, Southern fell to George Washington 90-80. The Colonials, perhaps the last team even to make it into the tournament. They were an at-large 12th seed. Now they win their first 2 games ever in the NCAA tournament. Look at that move.
And you see Yinkadare with the stuff.
You like that name,
Yeah,
huh?
I do.
I think Southern's problem, not getting enough shots. They averaged 93, only getting 67. Bench was terrific for GW.
Hammonds from the outside, and now look at the save. Brigham. Back to Searles. George Washington wins by 10. Sony Holland had 19 points. Now here's a look at Seattle. The winner of Michigan UCLA will play GW, Vanderbilt, and Temple all set. What do you think, Mike?
Vandy's shooting against Temple's matchup zone, and we all thought Yinkadare maybe against Michigan. Not so soon, huh?
And how about UCLA? I think that's the real surprise. We've seen a few during the weekend.
I'm telling you. I'll tell you one game that was no match at all. New Mexico State and Cincinnati. A 37-point blowout by the Bearcats, and really put them to sleep at the Carrier Dome up there right from the start. 22-4 out of the gates for Cincinnati. That was Durden hitting the 3-pointer.
Cincy with great offense. I mean, they're motion, they're active, they understand how to hit the free man. Go to the goal!
And it was their defense all day. Neil McCarthy's team just could not get anything going against Cincinnati. New Mexico State was just befuddled the whole game defensively.
Sam Crawford, in fact, who led the country in assists, had 10 turnovers today. So Cincinnati advances. That's New Mexico State's Crawford. Cincinnati advances to play Virginia in the next round. Virginia over UMass, the 3 seed in the East. 71-56, John Calipari's team. What was the story here, Mike?
I thought it was Virginia's defense for most of the game. They were consistent offensively, but really I thought defensively is where they really made it happen. UMass came back second half, though, cut a 19-point lead to 3. As you see here, Mike Williams had a couple of big threes, but Virginia took over late, Ralph.
Jammed it down defensively, and in the open floor were extraordinary. Very confident team.
That was Corey Alexander from the outside. Here's a look now at the Meadowlands and the East. Here's the other bracket, Mike, with the 2 ACC teams.
Virginia, Cincy, good defensive matchup. Carolina, Arkansas, they'll go up and down the floor.
The power inside might be enough for UNC, but it won't be easy.
All right. You know, UMass has never beaten an ACC team now in its school history. 0-7. Louisville and Oklahoma State, 78-63. The final here. The Cardinals, James Brewer, 20 points in the second half, 26 in all. And Louisville advances to the regional semifinals. Next up, they'll meet Indiana, 73-70 over Xavier in this one. Calvercini had 23. Here's Pete Gillen, the coach of the Musketeers. Watch this move here. Move of the day, Aaron Williams.
Strong. They needed more of that.
Bobby got a little hot in the second half.
But Larry Limbo told him, go back and sit down.
Albert Cheney, this gave him a 5-point cushion. And after the game, some comments with Gillen and Knight.
Coach Knight, Coach Gillen has just suggested that Indiana's going to go ahead and win the national title now. Your reaction to that?
We got a question that's worth answering.
Bob Knight. I'd say his press conferences ought to be televised. They're always interesting, aren't they?
Let you relax.
All right, Midwest bracket. Here's a look at it. Raft, Indiana, Louisville, Cal, and Kansas. Interesting in St. Louis.
Yeah, it is. Indiana's great defense. I mean, they showed today they can step up big.
Knight and Crum there, and of course Jason Kidd, a heck of a story for Cal.
Louisville back into the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1989. And we'll continue here on the road to the Final Four here on CBS in just a moment. Stay with us.
Rose to the baseline. Tarver got a hand on it, and it comes the other way. Sean Tarver's really stepped up his game right now when UCLA needs it. Gets his hand in off the dribble, makes the transition score, then comes back with a block shot on Jalen Rose, which goes off Rose's body. UCLA needs 2 right now. 2:10 to play. Petruska with Weber all over him in the corner. Wrong guy with the ball. Petruska just get in the post and rebound. This is the guy with the ball you want right here. Shot clock is at 10. O'Bannon turnaround, no. Loose ball to Jalen Rose. See, with his back to the basket, he's not facing the basket. He's at his best when he faced the basket and shoots at his rhythm. Jim Herrick going to try to get another shooter into the lineup in Kevin Dempsey. First chance he gets. Good patience by Michigan. Shot clock on your left, game clock on the right as we approach 1 minute to play. Just clear it out, he's going. Howard, three-pointer. And Tarver has the rebound. Still plenty of time. Tarver shoots the 3, and he gets 3. He fouled. Jalen Rose fouled Tarver, and Tarver will go to the line and shoot 3. Jalen Rose didn't need to do that at this time. You're up 4. You know you got the shot clock in your favor on the last possession. Goes flying at him, misses it. Now, Tarver has struggled on the foul line. He's got 3. It'll be interesting to see this pressure foul shooting right now. 1 for 4 from the line today. That's right. Now, on the other side of it, Michigan is not a good foul shooting team, as we know. 46 seconds to play. Don't go away. UCLA has the possession arrow. Should it come to that, with this much time remaining, you say it's a matter of free throws from here down. Well, the foul by Jalen Rose to put Sean Tarver on the foul line to shoot 3, you don't need that at the end of the game. Now you've got a situation where the game comes down to foul shooting. Sean Tarver with 2 shots left. Jalen Rose fouling him on the 3-point attempt. He sank the first and now gets 2 more, and if he hits them, can move the Bruins to within 1. Pressure foul shooting. Didn't shoot him early, but he's making them now. The other end of it, what do? Do you foul Michigan right away? Get that possession clock going where you got 1 or 2 possibilities to score in case someone misses the foul shooting for Michigan. Tarver hit all 3. We have a 1-point game with 46 seconds to play. And the full court pressure from UCLA. King double teamed and fouled. Went to the foul. Good move by Jimmy Herrick. Jimmy King is a 65% free throw shooter, but we won't shoot him yet.
Still got to commit another foul. Got to foul.
And Tarver does. 36.8 to play.
Still side out of bounds. Because they weren't near the bonus. Now in the 17th foul, you shoot the 1-and-1, and you get that 3 times until you get the 10 foul. Then you shoot 2.
Rob Pelinka, who is a better free throw shooter, now replaces Ray Jackson.
I'd foul him right away. He's coming off the bench. He's a little chilly.
And Jalen Rose headed to the go. You either got to absolutely taking a time out and putting him back, or you got to replace him. One of the two. You got to take him out and take time out and replace him. One of the two. Jalen Rose has a cut on his leg, apparently.
And they just wrapped the cut.
And Steve Fisher says he'll take him out for a moment.
See, that's what's unfair about that rule. Here's
Steve Fisher either has to take a timeout or take him out of the game.
Right, so now he's got a sub. He's got a sub.
So Jackson will come back into the game. So it's Jackson, King, Pelinka, Howard, and Weber.
How crucial is that? He can't come out because he just came out of the game.
You can't come back in.
See, what has happened this year in Division I, Division II, all basketball, any blood on the uniform or a player, that player must come out.
Timeout, Michigan.
Well, now Steve Fisher is going to take the timeout with 36.8 to play, and Michigan by 1. Let's just confirm what took place here. Jalen Rose with a cut on his left leg, and the rule in basketball in the NCAA is the coach either has to remove him from the game or take a timeout. Steve Fisher first thought of replacing him, then decided to burn his final timeout, and Jalen Rose will come back onto the court now.
And that's going to be crucial right now because with no timeout, 36+ seconds to go, this game is not over. Watch UCLA go for the quick foul to get somebody on the foul line because Michigan is not a good foul shooting team.
Rose fouled by Butler. That's 3 on Butler, and Jalen Rose shoots at a 71% clip from the free throw line.
But you notice what was interesting in the side out of bounds. If Jimmy King couldn't find anybody, you almost had a 5-second violation all over this new rule. Very critical timeout for Michigan.
This is Rose's first trip to the free throw line today. Michigan is 7 out of 10 as a team.
And it's a 1-on-1. If he misses it, it's in play.
Got the bounce.
Got the front of the rim. That's all that counts. Now watch Howard and Weber stepping in, and watch Jackson crashing in at this time.
O'Bannon and Zimmerman, the key guys on the lane for UCLA, should there be a rebound. Big grab by O'Bannon. 2-point game. Jim Herrick wants timeout. UCLA will have the ball in half a minute, trailing by 2 when we come back to Tucson.
Say is better than LA Law used to be.
Jimmy getting shot is no coincidence.
Picket fences moving to Thursdays.
Back in Tucson, UCLA with the ball, trailing by 2. Ed O'Bannon, 17 points in the first half, not a point in the second half. So who is Jim Herrick's go-to guy?
Still go to Ed in the inside with a penetration because Michigan falls to the ball, which means if there's an open shot with either O'Bannon or Sean Tarver, get 5 on the glass because Michigan doesn't do a good job of blocking out.
Edney, Butler, Tarver, Petruska, O'Bannon on the floor for UCLA. Edney on the drive and then backs it out, goes back inside again. Too long. Loose ball. Edney again. And Jim Herrick will now take his final timeout.
Well, what Herrick's got now is an out-of-bounds play underneath. The key to this is how well they run one or two screens to free somebody open on the baseline. Once you get it inbounds, go to the basket, force Michigan to collapse. But as we said earlier, Michigan does not do a good job of blocking out, sends 5 to the glass, including Edney, who's got already a couple of offensive rebounds. When you take a look at his action here, there's the flick. He got a piece of that ball, goes out of bounds. Underneath, same thing again. Weber got the ball. Good call by the officials. Possession goes to, on the block, goes to UCLA underneath. Now, I'll tell you, a good screen can get you a layup. I'll tell you, when you look at what can happen with out-of-bounds plays underneath, Michigan plays man-to-man. They don't play zone.
7th time in history these teams have met. UCLA has won the first 6. And at stake, a trip to Seattle and a spot in the Sweet 16. The winner joins George Washington, a winner earlier today over Southern, and Vanderbilt and Temple out of Salt Lake City. To play. Michigan by 2. Neither team has a timeout left. And should the ball be tied up, UCLA would get it. Most important guy, the trigger man out of bounds.
You got it. He's got to make the play. Otherwise, you get a 5-second count. And remember earlier, they had one called against them when Butler took the ball out of bounds earlier.
It'll be Mitch Butler.
Got to switch on the screens if you're Michigan.
Here we go. Edney across the lane. Was he fouled? He was fouled. Ray Jackson.
Jimmy King gambled. Didn't need to at that point, and that caused the pickup inside where there was a trip foul.
One personal foul, 17 foul.
Got a 1-on-1 right now. Crucial 1-on-1. Edney's a very good foul shooter.
Edney has hit 30 of his last 31 free throw attempts and shoots 84% on the year.
Now, Michigan has no timeout, so they've got to take it and go. They got to watch out for a steal by UCLA if UCLA plays a contained press.
Edney for the tie. 6.3 to play. Edney on the drive and taken away by King. And we will go to overtime.
Jimmy King did the right thing. Didn't want to risk a turnover where they could score again.
Two clutch free throws by Tyus Edney. Tied it at 77. UCLA had a shot.
Right now, the inbound play, good pressure, denying Rose. A lot of teams do that. They force it to half court. It's loose. Edney comes up and steals because Jimmy King didn't come back to the ball. Jimmy King yet doesn't give up, makes a great steal, and smartly just holds the ball. See, Jimmy King was waiting for the pass rather than coming to meet it. Edney so quick comes in. He thinks he's got O'Bannon open inside, and watch Jimmy King. UCLA knowing right now, watch it, looking, their bench ready, waiting, looking, knowing they go overtime, they have a shot.
Tyus Edney had a terrific idea on the bounce pass, but Jimmy King came back with a great defensive play.
He didn't fall asleep on that play, and that was very important for him to recover after he didn't come back and receive the out-of-bounds pass.
So put another 5 on the clock, and we'll go at it again.
Michigan played very, very tentative, I thought, when you take a look at what they did do the last minute of this game. In the foul by Jalen Rose, where he gave up 3 foul shots to UCLA. That's why we're in overtime.
This UCLA team lost a bunch from last year. Don McLean, Tracy Murray, Gerald Madkins. Jim Herrick brings them back with an 11-7 Pac-10 record, and they stand here 22-10 on the season.
Well, right now, Jim Herrick says, all right, guys, look, we know we can win now. We lost our momentum. Let's get O'Bannon back in the game.
Michigan with the opening tip.
Each team now gets an extra timeout.
King, Jackson, Weber, Howard, and Rose on the floor for the Wolverines. Weber for Jackson. Good high-low speed. Rose a little tentative about shooting, but not afraid to throw it inside to Weber, who cut Jackson going down the middle. O'Bannon, 17 points in the first half, none in the second half. Edney floats into the lane.
See, when he penetrates, they're a different team. He's got to do more of that in the overtime. If he does that, that opens up everything else for UCLA's offense.
UCLA has been in a zone all day long. Rose for 3, no. And there's a foul on Jimmy King.
And the wrong guy to foul in this situation. This is what I like about Edney with the ball. He penetrates very well. He goes inside to the paint. No one picks him up. He goes by King. And as we see here, King commits the foul half court. This is the wrong guy to foul in this situation.
Tyus Edney has now hit 33 of his last 34 free throws. And UCLA leads by 2.
No press, go back and play the zone, pack it in, force Michigan to shoot outside.
Rose had to change his shot. Edney comes away with it. 2-on-1, Carver. And a foul is called on Mitch Butler.
Very good rebound by Jackson. Coming down strong. Nice pass off, inside. John Tarver goes up and misses the layup. No one near him. And the foul going to the line now. Crucial this game. Michigan not a good foul shooting team.
Number 21,
Ray Jackson to the line. He shoots 64%. UCLA in the lead for the first time since the 7:53 mark of the second half.
That was a big 1-and-1. Make the first, now he's got to make the second.
Incidentally, that was Mitchell Butler's 4th personal.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Rose is out, Malinka's in. He's been really struggling with his game today, Jalen Rose.
Weber. And that's out of bounds, Michigan ball.
The Bannon just could not grab it. But credit Weber for going up strong again.
60 minutes comes your way next, except on the West Coast. 3:26 to play in this first overtime.
Michigan very tentative on offense right now. No confidence in their outside game.
Weber. Petruska with a hand on it. A foul, and he'll go to the line.
Very good move to get it inside. You know, Jalen Rose has been struggling. Credit Steve Fisher for just getting him out right now to cool him down, relax him, bring in Pelinka, the senior play in this game. Now, inside pass from Jackson goes up strong. He blocks that, but he comes right back with it. That's the thing about Weber. He's got great hands because he keeps his hands above his shoulders and can get to the ball very easy.
And strong. Oh, and strong.
He foul shot. He's not a good foul shooter.
That's out of bounds to UCLA. Michigan leads by 1, 2:51 on the clock, and Jalen Rose on the bench in overtime.
In this tough situation right now, Jalen Rose has been struggling, missed 2 key shots, two key positions in the overtime, and Steve Fisher made the right move. He's done with his better players right now.
That's going to go against Juwan Howard.
On the screen, he rolled off. Howard hit O'Bannon. Now O'Bannon goes to the line to shoot 1-and-1. What's interesting, the number, odd 1 right now. When you got 82-81, he makes it a tie. He makes both they go up 1. And when teams are up 1, penetrate to the basketball because the defense is afraid to foul you.
There's Ed O'Bannon's first point since the first half. He's 3 out of 4 from the line, and this will be for the lead.
UCLA will come back, still play the zone defense. Force Michigan to shoot it from the outside. Pack in the inside.
Shot clock at 30. 2:15 to play in the overtime.
Still have to look inside. Got to get Howard and Weber inside.
Howard with the loose ball, fouled.
You see that happen by accident. But the point is, the middle's been open all night. Michigan's forgetting that fact. Get the ball inside.
Petruska has fouled out.
Played a great game. A real great game for him.
Petruska fouls out with 7 points.
Zimmerman will come in. He's strong. He's physical. He's got to do it inside.
Now in the UCLA lineup, number 14, Rodney Zimmerman.
Shooting 2, Howard, right now.
At the line for Michigan, number 25.
Howard shooting his first free throw of the night.
Shooting 2.
The rest of this game is going to be foul shooting.
At stake, a trip to Seattle and a Friday night date against George Washington. Michigan now 9 out of 16 from the free throw line. We're tied at 83. And Jalen Rose comes off the Michigan bench.
Good timing right now. You still got 2 minutes to go. You got to get him back in the game. Penetration is the key right now for UCLA. Edley with the ball.
UCLA owned the first half. Michigan owned the second, and we're even here in the overtime. O'Bannon.
He's not that good with his back to the basket.
Zimmerman, the foul from behind.
Jimmy King, good foul shooter under pressure.
That's 4 on Zimmerman.
His 4th personal.
See, the 2 weaknesses of Michigan. Offensive blockout so that the other team, like UCLA, can get second effort, and foul shooting.
Hey, he wasn't the shooter.
And UCLA has exploited both those weaknesses today.
Jim Herrick just yelled out, Zim, think. That was King's first free throw of the night.
In and out. Look at the Michigan bench. The fear of the loss. The road to the Final Four.
Wolverines lead by 1.
Penetrate, they can't foul you. This is the toughest play defensively when you're up 1 because teams play tentative on defense. If UCLA smart, just drive to the basket, get on the glass.
Carver in the lane, tough shot off the mark. Rebound, Jackson. Here's Rose, and Rose will pull it back.
Doesn't need it. Now running offense, though. Sooner or later, Herrick's got to get out of the zone and go man. Got to get out of the zone and go man, Jimmy. Sooner or later. Clock's against you.
1:05 to play in the overtime. Michigan with the ball and a 1-point lead.
Now, smartly, Michigan right now still look to go inside. Get to your bread and butter players, Howard and Weber. Get it on the glass.
10 on the shot clock. The lob. And we're going the other way.
Call the moving screen on Weber, setting the pick for Jimmy King.
They set up the lob, but Weber guilty of the foul, and that's
Watch
his
this.
fourth.
Here comes the screen. I don't see the contact. That's the only thing he could have called. But again, it's Zimmerman on the foul line right now.
Rodney Zimmerman shoots 54% from the line on the season. And his first shot of the night coming up.
But he gets 2 to shoot. Win the bonus. Now Michigan's got to box him out so he can't crash, and make sure you box out Butler and O'Bannon so they can't get in.
The Michigan bench.
Now wait a second. Now this is going to be musical chairs. Once the defense establishes, the offense can change. Don Rutledge made the right call. But what that does is distract Zimmerman.
This is for the tie.
Ooh. Maybe he needs to do that in every play.
45 seconds in this first overtime.
Play it smart. You have a timeout. We're staying in the zone.
About a 2-second difference on the shot clock and the game shot. The game clock, Rose holding the ball.
Still going to play the zone. Force him to beat him with a shot.
Rose and Weber having a conversation out near half court.
Going now.
And Steve Fisher wants a timeout. 7 on the shot clock, 9.6 for the overtime. And let's leave Tucson for just a moment and send it back to Jim Nance in New York. Jim?
For just a very brief moment, this is Wild, the first overtime game of the tournament. Another reminder coming up next 60 Minutes, followed by Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Sunday movie Without a Kiss Goodbye. We can set the Thursday lineup for you. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Most of the nation will be getting Louisville against Indiana. Some will start at 7:30. Points of local interest getting Western Kentucky against Florida State. The back half, the doubleheader. Most will see Wake Forest against Kentucky. Eventually, everyone will get to see the end of California against Kansas. Another primetime doubleheader coming your way on Friday as well. Now, Mike Francesa and Bill Raftery join me here. Let's quickly cruise through some of the brackets here, gentlemen. First in the West, the Michigan UCLA winner will go against George Washington. What about George Washington the rest of the way, Raph?
Dick Adari has to stay in the game. Can't get in foul problems against either club.
Vandy and Temple there, Mike?
Vandy's good shooting against Temple's matchup zone.
All right, let's move to a Thursday, Saturday side at Charlotte. Southeast bracket. Kentucky became the third SEC team to make it to the Sweet 16. Raph, they're going up against Wake Forest on Thursday.
Wake Forest has to make it an inside game. Get it to Rodney Rogers.
What about Florida State, Western Kentucky, Mike?
Kentucky, good speed. Florida State has played very well so far.
All right, the Meadowlands Friday and Sunday. Carolina, Arkansas, Virginia, Cincinnati. How about
High octane. Get your seatbelt in that one.
Virginia, Cincinnati, good defensive struggle there.
In the Midwest at St. Louis, good-looking bracket, even without Duke. Indiana against Louisville, California, Kansas. And last night we had a classic to close out the day, Cal and Duke. We've got another one tonight, so we send you right back to Tucson, back to Greg Gumbel and Digger Phelps.
UCLA has a timeout remaining. They also have the possession arrow, the Digger. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Michigan does have that lob play, but they've also had success going inside to Juwan Howard.
But if I'm UCLA right now, I've been playing zone, showing zone. Steve Fisher called timeout to run a play against that zone. UCLA should show zone and match man-to-man to confuse Michigan and force them to go to the hole. Now, on the other side of it is you don't want to foul in this situation. When that happens, you've got yourself in a negative situation. But know that the tentativeness of Michigan offensively, if I'm UCLA right now, I just play solid defense, pack it in, and look to get the rebound.
Michigan with Howard, King, Rose, Jackson, and Weber. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
UCLA man-to-man.
3, 2, Rose on the leaner. No! Put back! Does it count? Is it good? Do we have a ruling? We have a discussion on the far side.
Incredible. They're saying no go.
The question is, was the shot put back before the shot clock expired?
Incredible.
Jim Herrick putting in his voice to Don Rutledge.
But the lead official outside's got to be watching the clock, as well as the buzzer. With the red light on the basket.
John Morrow, Andre Patello, Don Rutledge, the officials, discussing the situation. If allowed, the decision gives Michigan a victory.
Right now, here's the action. Oh, absolutely.
Well,
game's over.
It beat the game clock. The question is, did it beat the shot clock? And they are still talking about it.
There's the shot clock.
1.5.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
That 45-second buzzer went off before
But if he shoots it, it's a loose ball rebound. If he got that shot off, it doesn't matter.
The first shot, and then on the rebound, it went off before they made, and you can check.
Conversation over
It doesn't matter. If it's a rebound off the missed shot, it's a new shot clock.
You're right.
Then the tip counts. See, if Rose got it off and in time on the shot clock,
then it establishes a new 45.
It's a new 45 as soon as he shoots it. Okay? Now, that allows King to get the rebound. Because it's a new shot clock, has nothing to do.
Difference was about 1.5 seconds.
Got it! The basket! They got it!
Steve Fisher is saying they got it on tape, but that's not something the officials can come over and look at.
Cannot do in NCAA tournament play. Watch this now. 9.6 on the shot clock.
Which means the shot has to be off by...
This is the game clock.
8.1.
Here we go. He shoots it. There's time.
That establishes a new 45.
You got it.
So
that goal
shot
is good.
Count.
That goal is good.
But it appears... Let's see. Now Don Rutledge is calling both coaches.
That's incredible. The shot clock. Rose got it off within the time of that shot clock. It's a loose ball rebound. It's a free ball. Michigan taps it in with Jimmy King.
Well, we have 1.5 seconds put back on the clock at this point.
That means it's UCLA ball. That gives UCLA the ball with 1.5 seconds to go. Incredible. The officials have got to watch the shot clock. You've got 3 officials on the floor. No excuse for this happening in this game.
Here's a look at the play with the shot clock included. The shot clock in the lower left at 2 and at 1 as Jalen Rose releases the basketball.
He's done the right thing. Now, it's a free ball. He shot it within the time period of 45. There's enough time for Jimmy King to get that ball and put it in. And it should be Michigan up 2.
And it looks like Jim Herrick definitely does not like the call. And it looks like that shot will be allowed. Here's another look at it.
It's the right call. Yes, he released it with a second on the clock.
Jimmy King's basket is allowed.
It's the right call.
And UCLA has a second and a half to do something about Michigan's 2-point lead.
Great offensive rebound by Jimmy King. Let's not take it away from that. Jalen Rose went to the hole. Jimmy King got position. UCLA's calling timeout now to set up a play with 1.5 seconds left in the game. But see, the officials, one of the officials should have been watching that play. As soon as Rose went to the basket, they knew how much time was left in this game. This should never even gotten this far.
Well, from our vantage point, it would appear that after considerable discussion, the officials have arrived at the correct call.
Absolutely. Based on time and score, based on possession, based on the shot clock, based on what's left in the game, they finally made the right move.
Now, desperation heave is all that remains for UCLA.
Keep everybody in front of you and don't foul, because the worst you do is go overtime again, unless it's a 3.
O'Bannon, it'll count.
What a game. A classic. Jimmy Herrick's really upset.
Michigan is on its way to Seattle. UCLA led by as many as 19 in the first half. David Boyle to O'Bannon. The shot would have counted if it had gone. And it was just off. Jim Herrick has come over to Digger Phelps in front of our broadcast table here. And Digger is explaining to Jim Herrick what the decision was. And asking our opinion, and Digger Phelps is explaining the situation to him, and Jim probably feels just a little better about it. Jalen Rose barely beating the expiration of the shot clock. That makes this ball a free ball for anyone who grabs it. It was King who put it back for the winning bucket. The final score in overtime, Michigan 86, UCLA 84. It means that Michigan advances to Seattle on Friday night to play George Washington. They will join Vanderbilt and Temple. Our Chevy MVPs of the game: Ed O'Bannon for UCLA, Chris Webber for Michigan. 60 Minutes is coming your way next here on CBS, except on the West Coast. And so, for Digger Phelps, I'm Craig Gumbel saying so long from the McHale Center in Tucson, Arizona. What a wonderful ball game this has been. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the NCAA Basketball Championship.